Hi, so my name's Lynn, I'm from the UK, and this is my boob job vlog. So I am having a boob job because I lost weight about 5 or 6 years ago, and although I never really had very big boobs, what I've been left with, and to coin a phrase from my surgeon, is a little empty. And so I am as a classic pear shape, so I have quite big hips and quite a big bottom. I just don't really have any boobs, and I really struggle to find bras that fit, that don't come from the pre-teen or teen section of shops. And even then I don't really like those bras because they don't have enough padding, and I feel very self-conscious, and I struggle to kind of fill out clothes and things like that. So I'm having a boob job. I'm going with BMI Healthcare. There's a local hospital here in Milton Keynes, which is where I live, and I've just had my second consultation with my surgeon, Mr. Ghosh. I had a second consultation because originally I went and said that basically I kind of went and said, this is what I want. So I want teardrop because I want them to look supernatural. Not supernatural, but really natural. I wanted it through the armpit. I wanted it under the muscle. And he agreed with everything except the incision. He doesn't like doing it through the armpit, and he said that you can get quite I think you can get higher, there's a higher risk of infection, I think. So he said he was going to do it under the boob, which I'm happy about. So that was that. Really happy. Couldn't remember the cc's, but he was going to order a couple to and decide on the day, so kind of put it in, see how it looks when I was on the appointment table. That was all great. I joined a couple of Facebook groups for breast augmentations and advice and things like that, and I always had the assumption that round silicone implants were really kind of give you the fake look, and it wasn't possible to achieve a sort of more of a natural teardrop and sort of boob. So, but I saw a picture that somebody put on there, and I clearly had forgotten about gravity. The fact that, at some point the round implant will bottom out almost and be thicker at the bottom because of gravity. So that's sort of what I really wanted to go back for my second consultation for, because I've also sort of read up that it is, the teardrop obviously can only go in one way, and they can move in the pocket, and then obviously that's another complication of already quite major surgery that you have to think about, and it's already quite a lot of healing for your body to go through. So I just thought, well, one less thing to worry about is the implant moving once it's in its pocket. So I went back today just to speak to him about some stuff and make a note of the of the cc's, the sizing and things, because I noted it down before, excuse me. So I went back today and basically said what I've just said about the round implants, and he said, yeah, he agrees. He still thinks I can get a natural look with round implants, and he totally agrees. So he remeasured me because he has stopped. He's no longer going to use the implant that he was going to use, the brand. He said that it's come under scrutiny about some of the materials in it or something. So I think it's the one that I've seen on Facebook going around on the Facebook groups. He said it's all bullshit. and that they were fine. He's been using them for 10 years, but he said he can't be bothered with the hassle, so he's using another brand. I'm not sure what one, and that's why he said, oh, it's a really good job you've come back, because I need to remeasure you. So he's remeasured me. Now he's gone for 2 sizes. One was 365cc, I think, and 330cc. One was a moderate projection, one was high. I think the bigger was high. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to know until the day, because like I say, he's going to pop them in and see. What else? Oh, and he said to me, he goes, I know you keep going on about you want natural. He said, but please don't be angry with me or shout at me when you wake up and your boobs are big. He said, they are going to be big. He said, they're not going to be small. He goes, that's not why you're coming to me. You're coming to me so that you can have a good pair of boobs. He said, so don't get too hung up on the fact that I want small boobs. He said, although I'm quite petite, he says, I need a good sized boob, so they're probably not going to be an E, double E, anything like that. He said, but they will be big. Obviously, I want them bigger than they are now. That's the whole point. I do feel quite excited. I've only got 51 days to go. My operation is booked for the 22nd of December 2015. I have to have an overnight stay, yeah, so today I asked about how long it is until I can drive and stuff, and he said it's like 3 to 4 weeks, 6 weeks for long journeys, which isn't a massive deal because I don't need to drive every day. I walk and commute into London on the train, and I walk to the station, so I think that'll be fine. I can get people to take me around. It's not a problem. I said that because I'm having it done over the Christmas holiday, I've actually only got 12 days leave. And he said originally that I'd need 2 weeks off. So it's only shy of 2 days, but he did say that he was asking me whether I've told work or not, and I'm really in 2 minds. I get on really well with my boss. She's female, but I think plastic surgery is such a contentious subject that you can never really gauge how people are going to react when you say that you're going to have a procedure done. So I'm so in 2 minds, and I think sometimes I have to get her on the right day. She has to be in the right mood, I think, to be receptive to things. But he basically just said that whether or not I tell work or not, he said that's fine. If he feels that I need any more time off work, then he will just write me a letter, quite a vague letter, just to say I'd had a surgical procedure and I needed more time to recuperate, which is kind of quite good. So that gives me, it just means I don't have to be under pressure to tell my boss. Although I have told people that she knows and is friendly with, and it may slip out because they may presume I've told her. So I do need to kind of have a think on that. What else did we talk about today? He will provide me with 2 surgical bras, so I don't need to go and purchase anything. He said if I did, just get something really cheap, no underwire. He said that I probably won't see him after the op for 2 to 3 weeks. I will see the nurses and they will check the wounds and take the stitches out, which is a bit of a pain that they're not dissolvable, but you know, whatever. So I think that is everything I discussed with him. Oh no, I did actually discuss with him about capsular contracture, because he had mentioned it to me before and said that, you know, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. There's not really much you can do about it. But I just wanted to double check if there was anything I could do, you know, to prevent it. And he said no. He did say you're more likely to get it if you have a bleed. He said that in the 12 years that he's been doing breast augmentations, he's had one lady that's had a bleed, and that same lady had capsular contracture. He said so it's not particularly common. But and I said, there's nothing I can do to prevent it, like take antibiotics or anything like that. And he said, no, he will give me antibiotics on the table, and that's really it. And he just said, there's nothing you can do. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it, which is fair enough. I think it's just something you worry about. And it's the unknown. But he did say to me that I kind of have to trust him to do his job, and I do feel I feel quite excited. I feel a bit nervous, but I feel really excited. I feel a lot happier having had the second consultation with him. He said that, you know, he isn't going to give me massive boobs. He doesn't like doing that type of operation. He said if I'd have walked in there and said I wanted these massive tits, he basically wouldn't have done it, because he said that girls like that are just his worst nightmare, because they will just cause him loads of problems. So he would have basically just said no. He said they will be big, but not massive. So yeah. So yeah, that's it really. I will continue to do a vlog. I'll probably do one just before the op, to say what I'm planning, and then I'm probably going to do one on the day after. Like I say, I'm in an overnight stay, so probably the day of, if I'm awake and corpus mentis, the day after, and then obviously just as and when. I know I've watched a lot of vlogs, and I know some girls are just like, I don't really know what to talk about because nothing's really changed. But yeah, so even if it's just a couple of minutes and they're all kind of merged into one, I'll try and keep them shorter than this one because it's over 12 minutes. But yeah, so that's kind of it. Exciting. 51 days to go.